to introduce Rubik's very quickly. I like to do that to all my guests. And the thing is, Rubik's, I know Rubik's since he started basically because he's been in the game for a very long time. He is a young dancer, but to me, he's not a young um, is not young in terms of experience because he's been in the game for quite some time, and I'm pretty impressed with how he's been evolving in the dance industry. Reason why is because often we see young dancers, start very early, but then after that, after a certain time, we don't see them anymore. They just, were not able to keep up with the game, or maybe they change direction and things like that. And it's very rarely to see young dancers starting at a very early age and keep evolving to a point where you feel like you're asking, okay, when is it gonna stop? Because it's like it's keep growing, but you can also see that there is a big room for improvement when it comes to Rubik's. So I'm really excited to see in 10 years where it's gonna be because it's been doing some really, really impressive stuff at an early age. So I just wanted to salute you for that, Rubik's, because I've been watching and sometimes we talk, and I really appreciate what you are doing and the maturity that you have at an early age. So thanks for being here with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it a
You're
lot.
welcome.
Yeah.
So Rubik's, usually I like to start with a simple question, which is what is the personality trait that um, contributes the most to yourself as a dancer?
Actually, I would say like the question is more like what I use like as a dancer, or who I am as a dancer, or how I dance, like what is my personality. I guess I would say that I'm curious, really, really curious. I always want to know more, and I always want to research why this is this and this is this. Like I always want to know if this move will tell something or not. So me as a dancer, I think I would be like a guy who is really curious about what he wants and why he do some stuff like this. So I always trying to see, and I always try to find out why I do this move or this move. So I really want to be like the most curious as possible every time. And second things is like my mom was saying that a lot. I always want to be like representing something, represent something. Like if this animal, I will represent the animal, like the grizzly or something else. But I always want to be, and I think it's with the curiosity. Like I always want to represent something and an image, and I'm always like really curious. I really want to know everything about dance and everything about what I do. So yeah, I will say that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, it definitely makes sense. Would you say you are curious in life in general as well, or you are mainly curious about dancing?
I would say like I'm mainly curious about dancing because it's like my passion. And I would say too that I'm curious in real life, but it's more like in real life, I'm trying to be curious to be more curious in dance. You feel me?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
I always take everything outside to put it in
Mm-hmm.
dance. So most of the time when I connect something, like when I see movie or stuff, um, I put tech directly in my dance. And I think actually this is why I live, and this is where the curiosity is in, is every time I see something, actually I think about dance directly. So I think
Mm.
actually I'm curious everywhere, but it's for dance most of the part.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And it seems like you are very good at gathering information and then customize it to the passion that you have, which is dancing, and then kind of find a way to integrate it in your
Yeah.
dance or in your dance journey. So, can you give me more details about the process? So, for example, when you see something that is very interesting and you manage to integrate it in your dance, can you give me more details about how this look? Or maybe you can give me an example of something that you've seen that were inspiring to you, and then you managed to integrate it in your dance.
Of course, of course. Actually, um, people don't really know that, but every time I see something, actually, I directly copy like the original thing. Like it's exactly the same thing when I do it. But after I just try to find a connection between this and what I live and what I have in my life. So if I don't see any connection with what I saw, I will never use it because that will be not be me. That will be more be something I saw and I just that just inspiration. But I always trying to see if this thing have a connection with me and something in my life. And if that happen, now I try to connect both of them. So I don't know, it will be like if I saw like a movie and I see, I don't know, a guy fall in love, actually I will see the connection with me in my past or in my life, and I will connect both together. And this is at this moment that I create something different because there is two things like me and my inspiration connected together, and now I create something new. But if I don't see the connection between me and what I saw, I will never create something new because that would be just what I saw, and
Mm-hmm.
that would be
Mm-hmm.
just copy actually. But this is
Yeah.
the thing, like I got a lot of inspiration. Like I got Nika Yudat, I got Kefton, I got the twins, and I got criminals and all that stuff. I just try to see where in those dance or those life, where is the connection with me? And this is when I mix and when I create something new. And
Mm.
my dance is all about this. Actually, if I can tell the truth, before storytelling, my dance is all about like how I can connect with people. And before I connect with people, I have to connect with myself. So I just try to catch, catch and see what is good for me and what can connect with me. And when I connect this together, this is why this is like a good creation because dance is all about this connection and discussion. So yeah, basically is this.
It's interesting what you're saying, because would you say it's true then? Because sometimes I see on internet people saying that criminals created a monster because, like,
Yeah.
they say, like, you can see different people from criminals. Like, you can see the twins, you can see YG, you can see Boo Boo. So these people, like, all of them kind of inspired Rubik's to become Rubik's. So it's not copying any one of them, but you can see the inspiration from all of it. Would you agree with that
Exactly.
then?
Yeah, definitely. It's something that I want to people to see actually because it's something that I really love to see that this guy has been like he was a little boy and he was just like inspiring and eating everything he see, and me actually those criminals. And yeah, when you being inspired by someone and you just create with the connection you got, you being you and you being the guy. So I just love the fact that when I dance, people see me, but people see Wady too, people see Roshka, people see Devron, Laura, Bubu. I like the fact that people see everybody in one guy because this is what I want to make. Like Rubik's is criminals and Rubik's is all the inspiration he saw in one person. And I think this is the key of my dance because people can see and people can connect with me, and everybody is criminals because me, I just try to be like not be, but I just try to like show every aspect of criminals as myself. And I think this is why people say criminals create a monster because they just see everybody in me, and I'm super happy to hear that. And this is what
Okay,
I wanted to make. Yeah.
right. But here's one thing, because this can also be dangerous. Because, for example, um, some dancers, when they gather information and they're getting inspired from so many dancers, right? Like every one of us,
Yeah.
we can also become to a point where we kind of get overwhelmed and confused because we are, in getting inspired from so many places. Did you go through a period of your time of your life where you get confused and overwhelmed with all the techniques and things like that, or was it always very natural for you to just learn, implement, and then customize naturally?
Actually, like you're definitely right. Like it's a good thing, but it's dangerous too, actually, because at the beginning, most of the time when you're being inspired by someone, you don't actually have your like originality or yourself. And me, I was not Rubik's before. I was more like criminals, and I was not me because I was researching me. And it's very difficult to find yourself between all those people, but you have to like put your life in the dance. And this is where you have your image and your name. Like if you're just being inspired by some people, that's good, that's great, and you will be maybe a good dancer. But if you don't put your life in, you will never show who you are really. So I was like, at the beginning, I was like, it's kind of complicated because I know a lot of people and I was dancing with great people, but I was not finding myself until I understood that my life is my dance and dance is my life. So why should I don't just put my life in dance? And as soon as you put a little bit of your life in dance, you put yourself and you put your like identity. And when you have your identity now, you more you. But before it's really, really, really complicated because you just got a lot of information and by a lot of inspiration. And those inspiration got those like identity. So it's really complicated. But it's I guess this is where the magic of dance is. Like the more you have and the more you research yourself and the more you research yourself, the more when you find yourself, everything just connect together and just understand more. But it's a difficult, it's really hard at the beginning because people and you just after this, when you find yourself, you just want to connect and just connect with those dance to and just develop more and more. So yeah, I will never say that that was always easy. That was super, super difficult. And even at my age, because like I'm 20 years old and I start young. And during all this time, I was researching myself until like maybe 18, 19 years old, like 1, 2 years ago. So that was a long process. But when you find yourself, it's so different. So yeah, I would say it's really dangerous, but you have to go through. So like this.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think if it's a step that we need to be aware of it, but most importantly, we need to not fight it
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
accept it, because it's pretty much the same for everybody. But it can be so dangerous in a way that you stay like this for years, and then you kind of give up on the idea of actually finding yourself in the process. So my next question would be, for some people, when you say put your life into your dance, it can be a little bit abstract for some people
yeah.
because they can't really picture this. So could you give me more details about how do you manage to put your life in your dance?
Of course. I would say that first of all, we have to know that music give like emotions. So we all know that if we have a sad music, we will dance a little bit more sad than if you have happy music because like the music gives you emotion. And so this is the thing. When you dance, you have emotion and you have some stuff to express. And this is when I say like you have to put your life in it is like you cannot express dance. I mean, you can express dance, you can do like what you learn, but if you just put like your life is like what you think about, what you want to say, but you can't say to the people, or just talk about your day. This is put your life in dance. It's just like try to have a discussion with someone, but not with the word or the mouth, just with your body and just with what you feel. Like someone have to understand that you got a headache. You feel me? This is put your life in. Like if I just like go to a battle or somewhere else or showcase and I'm not feeling good, I have to say it. Maybe it would be like better for me to say it. I would feel better after. This is put your life in because you cannot like most of the people are feeling bad, but when it's in the battle, they just act like they're happy. You feel me? And this is lie to yourself. No, just do what you want to do. Do what your life want to do. And if you want to act like I'm not happy because I feel this and this I disagree with, dance like this. And the most important is like when I say put your life, you can put your life, but you have to control. It's really important because sometimes people put too much, and this is when you start like to. It's this is the tricky thing about dance. Is if you do too much, you will too much leave your dance, and you will not control anymore. So it's like your real life just to put just like a discussion with someone, but don't do it too much because you can like literally cry or literally be mad or really angry. You feel me? This is the thing you have to do. Like for me, put life in dance is just have a discussion with someone. If you don't have a discussion with someone, you don't put your life in dance. You feel me? This is for me. This is the thing. It's just about talk to someone in a round. It's like stop trying to be enemy with someone, but just be more like just talk to someone and just have a discussion. If this guy is not happy, you have to understand why. So you just answer like why you happy and he is not happy. This is when you put your life in. You feel me? If you don't put your life in, you feel more like it's a battle and you just want to do what you want to do. But when you put your life in, it's more like a discussion with you and all the people. So that's why I was saying, put your life in.
Right. Great, 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 great. Yeah, definitely I understand what you're saying, and most importantly, I can see this in your dance so much, to a point where it's yeah, it's very spontaneous the way you dance, and when we are having this discussion sometime, and I keep saying the same thing, which is I'm very curious to see how your dance gonna look 10 years from now, for example, because they
Oh
they,
yeah,
they
yeah,
because yeah, because there's so much I would say there's so much unseen in what's going on. You see what I mean? Because some
yeah,
dancers, you can clearly see that they are here to tell you exactly what's going on, and everything is readable, and everything is like very well made. But for someone like you, it's gonna be like well made as well. But you can also see that okay, there is a lot going on behind, and things that
yeah,
maybe we will never know unless if we sit down with you and we talk about it. You see what I mean? And
yeah.
that being said,
Definitely.
there's one thing I wanted to ask is when we dance at Joyson battle.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then I think
yeah,
this was the last round or the second round, and you
yeah,
after the second round you went like toward QT.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm not sure, but it seems like you were crying.
yeah,
Was
yeah,
it? I
yeah.
mean, unless if it's very personal, you don't have to say it. But why was that? What? How come you moved from this? Um, I mean, all of a sudden to that feeling.
Yeah, actually, there is no problem. I'm gonna say it. It's just like before I say it, um, I want to go back to what I said before. Sometimes when you put too much your life in, this is what happened. Like you can't control anymore, and sometimes it's beautiful. but sometimes it's not really beautiful. And at this moment, that was okay because I think I wanted to go through that. So, yeah, that was like, first of all, I was dancing against you, though, so that was like a big things for me. I was really happy about that. And yeah, like I said, the music was making me feel something I didn't want it to talk about during a long time. And that was between love and between my brother. So that was two things that was like counting a lot for me. And that was some stuff that happened in my life. And that was crazy because my feeling was like just trying to tell a story without saying anything and just trying to tell a story without showing something like too like I just don't want it to do something and you say, oh, I think he got a problem with this person or this person. I just wanted to like write a story and tell a story about a guy who maybe find love but have a problem with it because he don't know how to deal with it, and he just were fighting with himself about this. But you know when you're doing like the thing, you just put your life in it, and that's crazy because when you dance, you see some pictures and you just keep going. You say, I was literally like fighting with myself at this moment and I was trying to find answers I didn't have. So I was literally like trying to have a discussion with me that I didn't have before. And so all of that stuff make me like literally cry because I was like, I don't understand what I was acting like this before. And when I was dancing, I was understand and I was like literally thinking about like, wow, so this is how I was and this is how I am now. And I was like feeling so different at the end that I started to cry. And I ran through like Cutie because he was the only one guy who really know how I was feeling. And if you watch the video, he like started crying at the end because he was like, I understand now why he's feeling like this. And
That's
like I said
crazy.
before, yeah, like I said before, like I was like, sometimes you dance and you put your life in and you just want to understand the opposite side, like the guy who is in front of you. And sometimes you just dance and you understand more yourself. And this is crazy because when you understand more, you just feel like, wow, like this is this is so different. And you feel like you just accept what happened before and you just rebuild something new. And this was my feeling, like I was just accepting myself, and just that made me cry actually, and that made me go to QT because he saw, and he saw that I accept too. So yeah, that was just a big stuff. And I think that was the moment too, like I was dancing against my inspiration and I was feeling this. So that was a lot of stuff together. And to just like, I think that was the moment to just have a discussion with myself. And sometimes it's like this. Because I will think like, if that was in another battle, that would be not the same at all. That would be
Yeah,
not the same
yeah,
at all. Yeah. So,
yeah. And also
yeah.
the like the atmosphere. I remember that day. It was a really good event because it's cozy, not a lot of people, and it's kind of
Yeah.
intimate. Because one thing I never had the chance to share as well is that um, what you're saying. I don't know. I only danced once against you. It was that time, and
Yeah.
you kind of unconsciously attract me in your game as well, because on in the second round, I was like, I only felt like the only way for me to dance, it was truly let it go, you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And my entire round, I closed my eyes. It's not the first time I did that, but it was more like usually when I close my eyes, I don't stay too long with it. But now at that
Yeah.
time, I simply closed my eyes, and the more I started, and I was like, okay, after maybe 30 seconds, I will open my eyes and keep going with my rounds. But I couldn't open my eyes. I felt like I wanted to go deeper, deeper, deeper to that stage, you know. And it
Yeah,
was for
yeah, yeah.
me a way to kind of indirectly having this conversation with you because I know you are like, very spontaneous, and I was unconsciously kind of attracting to this game as well. So I think
Yeah.
the fact that you are dancing this way, it's also sometimes, not every time, because in battle sometimes we can become a bit too strategic. But when we're not being strategic and we just let it go in the moment, then dancing against someone like you can become something very, very interesting in terms of the conversation that's going on.
Of
So
course, of
yeah, that
course.
was interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a really
definitely.
good thing. I really
Great.
like it, and this is the thing is good is like you cannot go away from a conversation or from a discussion. If someone just talk to you or talk to himself, actually, if you don't go to this way, you will just don't accept the fact that he want to talk to you. And in life, it's kind of like painful to see that someone don't want to talk to you. So in dance, it's maybe worse, but sometimes like, and this is why dance is good, is like every time you're trying to talk to someone, the guy will talk with you actually. And at this time, that was nice because like we had a discussion. And even if I was talking to myself, you saw like that I was talking to myself, but you still wanted to talk to me. And this is what is beautiful. Like that happened to me maybe 2 times when I was dancing against you and when I was dancing against Forge. This guy at the beginning we were more like a battle, but soon as he start his round and he start like crying during his round, but just keep going like nothing happened. He just like opened a discussion with me. And at this moment, you can only just answer. You cannot just ignore and do your thing like I dance. No, if someone talk to you, you have to just understand and answer in your way. And this is why dance is beautiful. Sometimes you got competition, and sometimes you just got the love between two people.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
yeah.
And now, the way you move and the way you approach dance, we could say that, okay, there is not necessarily like a structure to it in terms of how it looks, right? But I'm sure there's
Yeah.
still a structure behind it, right? When maybe you are practicing, or maybe just when you are discussing with people, or maybe just when you are listening to music. So, can you give me more details about how your training look?
So I will say that, and this is because I think it's the game. Sometimes actually, I got some strategy. You feel me? Because I think a lot of people just don't want to have discussion and they just want to fight against you. So sometimes you have to have a strategy or something. And the other truth is like you most of the time you have people that you want to win against. So you have to have a strategy. And this is dance. And I think when it's this kind of stuff, I always try to like most of the time my strategy is if I have the choice, I will go first because I know that if I go first, the guy we don't know like what I'm gonna do. If I go second, maybe actually the guy will give like a really good round and I will be stressed about it. But if I go first, it's only me and what I'm gonna do. So I just do my job. So most of the time I just go like I'm gonna do me and I'm gonna see where the guy against me cannot go. Okay, so I'm just always trying to go in a way that this guy say, wow, I cannot play against him on this kind of stuff or this kind of stuff. So maybe I'm gonna do what I do the best. And at this moment, people see that he's just doing his comfort zone, and the other guy just try to just touch his limit. And this is the strategy thing when I just want to dance against someone. But most of the time, the first thing I do when I in a battle, I want to understand. This is the most important thing for me because that makes me like feel different, and that makes me like understand the story of the guy in front of me. So the first thing I want to do is I really want to understand the guy. If he's dancing like this, I want to see and I want to understand why he danced like this. I want to see the story, even if he don't make story. I know that there is a lot of people that even they don't want to, they make stories like Alex the Cage. Just the fact that he just put glasses on make a big story. It's it's funny to see that someone put the glasses on and just change his whole appearance. You see, and this is the kind of stuff I try to research when I dance against someone. And this is basically my, I will not say strategy, but there is love. That would be more like strategy to understand someone and to answer better. So
Hmm.
I just want to understand the guy, and I just want to see how I can answer so he can understand back. You see,
Right.
so this is like, yeah,
Okay. So in this case, do you also do that during your training then? So during your training, do you kind of prepare yourself, mentally and also maybe technically as well for that?
yeah. It depends. It depends. Mm, Most of the time, that would be more like I try to understand the music. So if I'm alone, I'm gonna dance against the music. So I'm gonna, so the music gonna say something, and I'm gonna try to like say the opposite things of the music, so the music can understand me. Actually, that's a music, so it's complicated. But what I want to say is like I try to connect my story and the story of the music. So this is kind of a discussion.
Right.
Most of the
So
time I do
that's
this because when I'm alone
okay.
is the only thing I can do.
Right. So your training rely a lot on the music when you are, for example, practicing in your room. Yeah. Because I remember
Yeah,
once
yeah, yeah.
you mentioned, I think I saw that on Instagram, something like that. You mentioned that you said, I don't practice and I will explain. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, it was like, so for
Yeah,
example,
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. So I know that you are practicing because you cannot improve without practicing. But I also understand
Of
what
course.
you what you where you come from with that. Maybe like the 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 quote unquote practice that most people know about. Maybe that's not what you do. Maybe you're not drilling,
Ex-
things like that. Yeah. So can you give me more details about that then?
That's exactly like what you're saying. It's literally exactly, basically like my training is so much different than the other because I understood that I'm young, and I understood that sometimes that stuff is in dance. There is that stuff in dance that you cannot go through if you don't like just grow like in the real life. And sometimes like, I mean, I don't think I find like the last step of my dance. I will never find the last step of my dance. But I know that some stuff I need to know will come when I will be older. And this is the thing. Like I dance like I live. So I didn't leave enough thing to just explore more. It's like you play a game and you stuck at a point because you didn't like grow on this way or on that way. It's the same thing for me. I don't say that my age just blocked me. I just saying that my experience in life and what I think just is my dance. So I think when I will be a little bit older, I will find a new way to improve my dance. So that's why I say for me, my practice and my training is a little bit blocked because I just want to. live more, explore more, be a little bit older to see what it's like to act like this or be like this and put this in my dance. You feel me?
Makes
So
sense.
for me, yeah, actually, yeah. So for me, I didn't understand at the beginning because my brother was saying that most of the time, if people like dance against you, they got a lot of experience. And I was saying like, but that don't make sense. Like he got experience, okay, but if I dance like this, I don't know why I lose. But actually, that makes sense because sometimes people got the experience and just express something else than a younger guy. And this is what I research right now. I just research when I will be a little bit older to see if I will express something else or something new. Because right now I just express what I want to express, but as a young man, because actually I'm a young man. But I just want to see when I'm going to be older, how I'm going to look. And I know that all the practice I'm going to do before that will be to know more my body or my control or maybe switch maybe more the timing or it's like developing my dance but it's not developing me and I'm waiting to see like when I will be 22 or 23 how I will express myself in dance. So like I said to people, I don't really practice because right now I don't feel practicing. If I practice, that will be just to understand more something in my body, but that will be not to understand more something in my dance. You feel me? So yeah,
Yeah.
I only practice like I don't know. I practice like to see. When I practice is when I see movie or I don't know or I watch something on YouTube. This is my kind of practice because my brain work a lot. But actually,
Yeah.
like yeah, I'm waiting for the next step.
It's interesting what you're saying and the way you kind of articulate it as well because you don't know what's next, but I I appreciate how you are embracing what is now. And you do it to
Yeah,
a point where it's become a strength. And when you are talking about it, I can understand that it's become even part of your strategy, I would say. You know,
yeah,
it's like, okay, I don't know, I may not have enough experience as you, or I may not have been living in this earth, as long as you, but I'm gonna capitalize on me right now. You see,
yeah,
and
definitely.
to me, I mean, for myself, listening to you right now and others, I think there is also a lesson, to take from this because, um, you know, um, from the members of BTM, this is something that I say a lot, which is embracing what you have right now. And I think from this conversation is definitely a testament of what I usually say. But the way you kind of express it, it's a different angle. It's
Yeah,
a really different angle, and I think that can definitely help many of us as well. Myself included, because um, I didn't know that you were thinking this way,
oh
and
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
see, it's definitely a good approach, and it gives you peace of mind as well. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, for
Great.
sure, yeah,
And so now let's transition to one of the things that comes a lot when people tend to describe your dance, which is storytelling. And
yeah,
and based on what you shared with us already, I can understand, why storytelling is a big part of your dance. But my question would be, there are many different ways to tell a story, especially in dance. But your way of telling a story is very visual,
yeah,
and it's almost like you are making sure that the audience understand what you're trying to say. you know.
Yeah,
So it
definitely.
goes beyond, it goes beyond developing a movement, or or developing a concept. It's more like you're directly tapping into your imagination and creating scenarios in the moment. So is that something that you work on, or is just something that is like fully integrated in your way of seeing dance?
Yeah, it's something that I work on a lot before, and now it's just in my head because I understand more how I can approach people about that. But it's something that I'm practicing a lot to like just take the time to build something because it's really complicated to have the mindset to say that okay, I'm going to use this all around to do something and to make understand like for the people. It's really really complicated because when you do the thing you just see people that don't react at the beginning and you just feel like, oh, okay, I'm doing something stupid, I should do something else. But actually no, because like you have to like construct, you have to have a beginning and have an end. So yeah, this is something that I work on it like for real because I really wanted to the people to see something and to just like feel like there is really someone on the place that I talk to, or there's really like I really wanted to act like if I'm in my bedroom, I just want people to see that I'm in my bedroom and to visualize like he's really in his bedroom. You feel me? So this is something in the storytelling, in my storytelling, that I wanted people to see because if they don't have an image, that would be so complicated for me to talk with someone or to have a discussion. Because for me, they have to be like in my life when I dance, and they have to understand what happened and be really and they I don't want people to be like just sitting down and just say that, oh, okay, I understand. I want just the people to just feel and have the same emotion I have. And for me to have that, they have to see the and visualize the scene. So I have to put image on everything. So yeah, this is something I work a lot on it because at the beginning that was not clean at all. I was just saying some stuff and people was like, okay, what
Yeah,
was that? But I
yeah,
realized that the more you take your time and the more people can see, because actually when you do like a round of 1 minute, it's really complicated to put stuff together. But you can like use like maybe 30 seconds to install something, to create something, and 30 seconds to just play with this. Because most of the time people, and this is what something I wanted to say, like people being confused between storytelling and acting, and they have to be careful because when I do storytelling I always try to dance. Even if I stop and I just say like this, I always try to dance because it's still a battle. Okay, so this is some stuff that you have to know when you do storytelling, and this is some stuff that I was working a lot on it. And that was like, I think that was Wady say that to me, like say that don't forget where you're from and don't forget why you dance. You dance first of all because you like it. Before all the stuff happened to you, you just were dancing at 5 years old because you wanted to dance. You don't really wanted to write something or a story when you were 5 years old or four. Just wanted to dance like this because you were innocent and just you like to dance. So don't forget this part of you, but you can write a story, but don't forget to dance. And this is all of that stuff you have to think about when you do storytelling. So
mm,
yeah, I was working a
yeah.
lot of this before.
Great, 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 great. Yeah. So we're definitely gonna see more of this later in the workshop because it's gonna be the
Yeah,
subject. And one thing also I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that I would say almost a year now, I can also already see a shift in your
yeah,
audience. There is a transition happening, And this transition is not over yet. You are literally in the transition right now, from what I'm seeing. And the transition that I'm seeing is that you're still this very spontaneous dancer and taking a lot of risk with your body and things like that. But it
Yeah,
seems like there is more. Um, I don't know if it's consciousness in what you are doing. Yeah. So yeah, we could use these words. Yeah, I think there is more consciousness in what you are doing, and also I can also see you being more careful in what you are doing during battles as well. So, and the result of this is seems like you are getting more control in an area that's at the beginning we would say, oh, Rubik's is is just explosive, explosive, explosive. But now it's
yeah,
more like, okay, you are being explosive consciously, and you are being sometimes very calm and still manage to maintain the the storytelling, the way you develop your movement and things like that. So my question is, why this transition? And yeah, how come it's happening now? Because I even remember you post something on Instagram. It was just uh, a story, and you said bye bye Grizzly, you know. And even this, I connected to this
yeah.
transition. I connected to this transition that is happening because I can feel that, okay, there is less of Grizzly. Maybe it will come back in another form. I don't know, but there's less of Grizzly, like the crazy um, Rubik's. So yeah, can you give me more details about what is happening now?
Yeah, of course. And yeah, actually, it's like the Ruben, because for all people that don't know, my name is Ruben, and it's just the Ruben thinking about like, do he really want to dance like this during whole his life, or do he want to just be more calm and just want to just talk more like he talk in real life? And that's the thing. I was just saying and thinking about like the grizzly, and I know that the grizzly is like really like I didn't want it to be like the grizzly every time, because the grizzly is like not the bad part of me, but that was more like the the part of me that wanted to express and just say that he's not happy, or he's just wanted to be different. And actually, like, I know now, I know that I'm different, and I think it's just like I said before, I was researching something like I'm 20 years old, and I just passed a level that I just wanted to be like, okay, what I want to look like when I'm 20. And I think I want to look like someone more calm and more like someone who want to talk and not someone who want to express like aggressive or grizzly. So I just wanted to see that the young guy being the grizzly for a long time, because the young guy wanted to be like defense, wanted to act like I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a big man, and you have to know that. But now I'm more like I'm not aggressive. I got something to tell, and I don't think act aggressive will be good to tell something maybe more calm. So, like I said before, it's just like the Ruben that just want to evolve, and the age make me change the way. So, like when I was 19, 18, I was more like I just want to show to the people that I'm different. And now I'm 20, and I feel like I just want to talk to the people, and I just want to talk as me. That's why I just even my dance changed a little bit, because I just wanted to feel like I wanted to be more focused on myself. And I know that some movement that I learned way before in the past, make me feel that I control everything. So sometimes I'm just dancing like I danced before, or I just using stuff that I learned 10 years ago and I didn't use anymore, just to see that I can control it and I can explain without doing crazy stuff. Because the thing is, Grizzly was kind of killing me in the way that sometimes he wanted to express too much. So at the end of some battle, I was just hurting myself and I was just hurt a lot because I wanted to express too much. But this, like when I said in Instagram that bye bye Grizzly, that was a way to say that now you saw me aggressive and you saw me like going really hard, really explosive. But now you're gonna show me more like a wave, more like something like water, something more chill, calm. And yeah, this is this transition I'm trying to make right now because I don't want to lose the Grizzly because it's something that really helped me in difficult moment. But I just want to do a transition between the Grizzly and more like being the Grizzly and being the teddy bear. Like just have this matchup and sometimes a good guy and sometimes the Grizzly. You feel me? So yeah,
Yeah.
this is something I'm trying to make right now. And it's complicated because sometimes I dance like Grizzly and sometimes I dance like Rubix or Ruben. But I just try to see and to have the good connection. So yeah.
Yeah. Definitely makes sense. Good. All right. So I could actually go on and on, because
Yeah.
like one thing I say a lot, to in beyond the movies, one of my practice is basically being a good observer, and just analyzing a lot of dancers, even though, I'm pretty quiet, in the game when it's come to, even when I'm in an event and things like this. I'm not the guy who's gonna be, talking to everybody and things like that. But I analyze a lot and I observe a lot because this is one of a way for me to practice, and this is how I can also kind of have this type of conversation with you because I do, analyze and observe you as well as a dancer, and I'm really glad that we are having this conversation in BTM because usually the person that I invite are maybe my age or a bit older and things like that,
Yeah.
and I was like, I want to give it a try and let's see what we're gonna have with Rubik's, and I'm really glad that we did that, because I kind of it just makes sense, and you just put so much words to your dance, and it's very like in line. What you are saying and what you are doing with your dance is so much in line, and it gives me a better understanding of you as an artist as well. So yeah, thanks for that. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it too. It's like it's good to talk to you and just to explain, like have a discussion about this and about like what is for me dance and just about what I think and that was like some good question. I was I was expecting this, so I really
Okay.
enjoy to talk and to have discussion like this.
Good. So, we're just gonna have like a few questions, maybe one, two, and then, like I said, guys, you're gonna be able to ask more questions to Rubik's later during the workshop. So, does anyone have a question in mind? Yes, Kim.
Hi. Sorry, because my English is not good, but I want to ask that how you like practice with music. I mean, it's not kind of like about musicality, because when I listen a song, I feel like I can listen every beat in the song, but sometimes when I dance, yeah, I can hit this. I can hit this sound and that sound, but sometimes I feel not enough to like feel the song. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I
definitely.
can express it, but I don't really can feel it. So I just want to ask that, like when you dance, the way you can feel the music, can I practice? Like can I practice to me to feel the song?
Okay,
Yeah.
of course, yeah, that's a really good question. Um, like if I can like tell you something, is like me when I listen to music, everything I hear in the music, I put it as an image or I visualize as something that I saw in real life or that makes me feel like something. I know that most of the time, the bass, I put it like I visualize and put the image like it's my heart. So most of the time, I feel the bass because I say that it's bass in my heart. The bass of the music is my heart. So every time I hear the bass, I know that my feeling will be here. And so sometimes that can make me feel like pain, or sometimes that can get me feel like happiness. It's just all about the music and what I saw. So most of the time, I just try to put image on the music and on what there is in the music. So I don't know if it's like just a snare, I will just hit it like um I'm sick and I just want it. You feel me? So I'm gonna hit this like a snare. It's all about this. It's like for me, when you practice this, it's more like trying to see every music category you have inside the music as yourself. So it's more like your body is the music now, and you just wanna understand like how I can be the music and how I can understand the music. So, like I said, it's stuff like this, like your heart is the bass, or maybe the snare is your nose, or maybe I don't know when I'm going to do this, it's going to make a sound. So, every sound you hear, it's from something and from somewhere. So, I just use all this sound and I'm just trying to see where is it from. And when I feel it, when I understand, every time you're going to go to a battle, you're just going to feel like your arm want to do this because the feeling is this sound make you think about something that you saw or something that you feel. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
so
you understand,
basically
Kim?
this.
Yeah, thank you.
Got it?
It's mean a lot to me.
No
Thank you
problem.
so
You're welcome.